Hello and welcome to the Basics of Dog Training. My name is Quinn. I'm a certified trainer for the Karen Pryor Academy and a team manager for the National Newfoundland Rescue. You might be thinking, I've had dogs my whole life. Why would I attend a presentation or watch a video about training dogs? But the reality is, you only have so many hours in the day. I want to make training your dog as efficient and as effective as possible. That way, when you do have the time, you won't be making these common dog training mistakes. I want to give you the skills to best give your dog skills. The first thing we need to discuss is that dogs, like humans, learn how to learn. You might notice that the first couple things you teach your dog are very difficult, but as they progress, it becomes easier and easier to teach them new things. So, if you're just starting out, I don't want you to get discouraged. Your dog isn't stupid and you're not bad at training. They need to practice learning and you need to practice teaching. There are many different methods of training. However, the method of training that the NNR recommends is marker-based training. This is a reward style of training where a word or sound marks the moment the dog does the correct thing. The reason this style of training is so effective is that dogs learn best with immediate feedback. However, immediate feedback is not always possible, or it might be incredibly difficult to give if we're trying to deliver a treat in order to give that feedback. So your marker bridges the time between the action and the reward, but you still need to follow up with a reward. In this way, the marker acts as a buffer of time between when the dog does the action and we give the dog a treat. So I want you to think of your marker in these two different analogies. Like previously discussed, your marker is a bridge. It's a buffer time between when the dog does the action and you give them a treat. But it's also kind of like a camera shutter. You're taking a picture of the behavior you want. In fact, sometimes I have people hold up their marker like it's their phone so they can imagine taking a picture of the exact moment the dog does the behavior. Or if you used to use a camera like this, you can imagine holding it like this. We're going to be discussing a couple different styles of markers, but one style that I like to use is a clicker. A clicker is a helpful tool for marking behavior. There are a couple different styles of clickers. There's finger clickers like this that have a little loop for your finger, and they tend to be a little quieter. So they're better for shy dogs or quieter environments like inside. Then there's the traditional star mark style of clicker, which is much louder. And this is better for more confident dogs or louder environments like outdoors. Also, it's very important that when you first introduce a clicker, you wrap it in something like a sweatshirt or towel to muffle the sound. I've often heard people say that their dog is scared of the clicker, and what they accidentally did is they used a loud style of clicker like this, and they didn't wrap it to introduce it. So it was this very loud sound for the dog, which was startling for them. So instead, you can take something like a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, blanket. You can use a quieter style of clicker, wrap it in there, and you'll hear that the sound is very muffled. And this is a good way of introducing the clicker or starting off with it. The other common style of marker would be a vocal marker. This is most often the words yes or good. However, it's worth noting there's some pitfalls to vocal markers. Maybe you say the word yes in other contexts, such as people watching a football game and their team is winning and they're yelling, yes, yes. And that's very confusing for their dog. In fact, our dogs become used to tuning out our voices often throughout the day. It would be really inconvenient if every time we said the word good, our dog paid attention to us. And we were just talking to a conversation on the phone with a family member or something. The other pitfall is people like me who like talking during training. This is called, in dog training terms, keep going signals. And I use them regularly to encourage my dogs to keep going or keep trying. They're almost there. I'm not going to mark it, but it's so close. You're doing so good. Ah, shoot, I used the word good. If good is my marker signal, then now I would have to end that round and give them a treat. A popular question I get about markers overall, and a popular complaint I get about clickers particularly, is that I don't want to use a clicker forever. I don't want to have to remember a clicker every time I'm out with my dog. The reality is, this is a misconception. You do not need to use the dog's marker forever. Markers are only for learning a new skill. Once the dog has learned that skill, we no longer use the marker. I don't carry a clicker with me out on a walk with my dog, and I'm a clicker trainer.